whoever had Novak gets a full metal water bottle dropped on his head on their bingo card is celebrating. That was one of the weirder, more unfortunate things. And as I saw it, kind of like everything, we digest little snippets of Twitter before we actually know the story. And so short version is fan leans over trying to like get a high five or a autograph as Novak's leaving after his first round win against Mute. And the sleeve with the water bottle, he kind of bends over, water bottle just slips out, and like it couldn't have been more of a square hit on Novak's skull. Novak goes down, like Bob Bryan would have said, like a sack of potatoes. It was pretty serious looking, and kind of he just walked off. And then we're kind of like, okay, you can get your bell rung if you get hit with a metal water bottle full of water, not looking on your head. That's gonna hurt. So next day, Novak comes in and it was pretty funny. Comes in a bike helmet, kind of making fun of the whole situation, which I kind of digested as like it's all good. Here I am making a funny joke, and then comes out against Tabilo and doesn't look like Novak at all. Loses 2 and 3, and it might not have been that close. He got broken 4 times. 3 of the 4 times that he got broken, he double faulted on break point, which is weird. So I'm of two minds. It's like, okay, I'm, concerned about form. It just seems like there are kind of these weird situations, and maybe it's just proving that even with time, someone like Novak still needs a consistent cadence of tennis. Right? I don't know that you can show up as, no matter how great you are, show up all the time on short rest and have it work out every time. And then I'm like, well, okay, so does that just mean we're entitled to like this greatness where he doesn't need matches and we expect him to just be the greatest forever? It's a weird moment. I'm not one to get carried away with like a given result, but on a 5-month sample size or a 6-month sample size, he got beat pretty good against Sinner. It was 4 sets, but it was like the first 2 were quick. He snuck out, and then the 4th set was downhill. Skiing lost to Demon. United Cup before that 4-4, which is a pretty, that's a straightforward win in professional tennis. Loses to Nardi at Indian Wells. Which is strange. He goes all that way in 10 days of prep and the whole thing, and then loses. And then in Monte-Carlo, he makes the semis, which for, the rest of us dummies is like, it's the best result I ever had at a Masters 1000 on clay. Loses to Ruud for the first time ever. Had never lost a set to Ruud before that match. But more concerning was like struggling with breathing. His match against Demon, he was like struggling for air, early in matches, like 20, 25, 30 minutes in, and then comes to Rome, and, there's Bottlegate, and we don't know, only he can tell us how he feels about that. But then goes out and kind of lays an egg, said it didn't even feel like it was me, against Tabilo, who's, a good player. But not Novak Djokovic. So there's 2 things. One, he could figure it out. Good thing about slams is you're not playing guys that are 25 in the world first round. Like, you have time. You can get through some ugly matches. So maybe he gets through that first week and turns into Novak again. But, and I say this, it's all based on the shadow that they've created. I feel like I say it every week. I'm more concerned about his tennis game than I have been in probably like 15 years. Knowing that maybe he just needs a bunch of us saying that, and to, the kind of me against the world mentality that he has mastered over the course of his career. So wouldn't surprise me if he played well at Roland Garros, but how long can we say, oh, he'll turn it around? Like, no, he'll just definitely turn around. He's fine. He's Novak. And I've been saying that the entire year. This one was weird. I thought he would, the ramp up, you're looking at the French Open, you're looking ahead towards Wimbledon, he's said he's prioritized the Olympics. You felt like the ramp up was coming and what he's kind of done before. And that wasn't a ramp up.
Well, and I think the other crazy thing is that, Jannik Sinner is only about 1,000 points behind him for world number one.
Well, so Jannik Sinner, if Novak, I want to say, I'll get it either if Novak loses in the final, Sinner's number one. If he loses first round, Sinner's number one. So basically Sinner...
Sinner makes the semifinals to become number one, and Novak loses in the final, basically. So Novak loses in the final. Sinner needs to make the semis.
Oh, I heard it was even. Well, no,
that's what the Forbes article says.
I would almost argue with that. I don't know if they know that he loses 2,000 points. If he loses the first round, 2,000 points are coming off immediately. So we'll see. But Sinner, at this point, we're going to be arguing about which tournament he takes it over. There's an air of inevitability about it. I think Sinner becomes world number one, but the Novak story is just kind of strange. So it's like you're seeing, and that was on the heels of the Rafa match, which a dip in tennis form is easier to digest with Rafa at this point in his career because hasn't played much tennis in 2 years. Lose to Hubie Hurkacz 1-3. First time I think he's ever lost that lopsided in a clay court match. He's just not getting he used to be able to get from defense to neutral in one shot, right? And he could do it over and over and over again. So all of a sudden you're playing 6 offensive shots and you're back at the starting point. That's what Rafa has been able to do on clay forever and a day. He's just not able to turn defense to neutral and then to get ahead. His offense looks okay. I mean, when he's getting the ball in the middle of the court, he's able to kind of bully it around a little bit. I thought he served better in Rome this week than he had before. He's just not flipping defensive from the corners into neutral start over Magoo like he has been before. But Rafa leaving Rome, and I don't know if anyone who has seen that clip of him basically walking over. You basically walk from all the player areas over a bridge to get to transportation when you're leaving. And Rafa walks over that bridge. There had to be 15,000 people just shouting his name. Rafa also, when he left, wasn't in a great mood. They had some sort of like tribute ceremony on court that they were rolling out, and he just walked off, which I thought was hilarious. No mas.
He just had it.
No. And then he went to press and he was very like kind of matter of fact. And I kind of respected it because it was like, you can know the reality of your body. You can be a pragmatist, which Rafa is famously a pragmatist, about where you are right now. 3 weeks ago, he's like, I don't even think I can win a pro match ever again. And then he won matches in Madrid, won a match in Rome, which had you told him that 3 weeks ago, he'd be like, that's great. Expectations reset. He was pissed when he lost to Hurkacz. Like, he can know the factors. He can know what's going on. Then you get out there, blood boils, you're disappointed, and you're pissed. Like, it's just, we're not rational humans. We're not rational humans. Not in the moment. But the tribute that the fans paid to him, he's won 10 times in Rome, which is, none of these stats made sense before these guys came along. Like, it's just not a realistic thing. I mean, Novak's won Rome 6 times. Like, great clay quarters win Rome twice, maybe. Specialists, where it's like, these are the months that I live for during the year. These guys are different gravy. I have no idea what to expect from either one at Roland Garros, right? Like, bet against greatness at your own peril, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they bring. Maybe Novak needed this. Maybe he needed to be the down and out and chip on the shoulder and dummies like me doubting for a second. I don't know. But that tribute to Rafa was phenomenal. I kind of like that he just left the court. That was kind of funny. It's like so un-Rafa like that. It made me chuckle. He was like the rest of us for a second.